Hello everybody, welcome to Skyrim Special Edition. You might be wondering where we are. Well, I finally made it on top of the mountain. Although as you can see, when I fast travel to it, I don't actually end up on top of it. But yeah, giant pain in the ass, but it's done. So there's Mortreg Peak, which is all of the peaks that's all 4 hidden peaks that there are that serve zero purpose besides
It's so bright out here.
an extra fast travel point that you don't really need. And oh, look at that! All the stall in his fuck has respawned. I did come back here and clean this out at one point, but now it's all back. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that I did finally make it to the top of the mountain. I mean, I could have showed you just by opening the map, but it was a nice view. I figured I would share it. It is a nice view of nothing, but I like looking up at the sky every now and then, just like at like the clouds and nothing. How often is it that you get like that you get a view like that where you can see the horizon, but like no ground. All right, so here we are at White Ridge Barrow. I think I said that we would do this next time. Either way, we're doing it now. So in here will be a few more of our collectibles that we need for our vault. And our final black book. Alright, well, I see that we're not the first ones. A Reaver, who is clearly trying to keep stuff inside. Oh, another Reaver. Feel like something, maybe not. Felt like something was off there for a second, but I could be wrong. Alright. Gotta get rid of the bar first. Oh, and another one on this side. Oh, that's this place too? Damn, there's a lot of shit here. Because I do believe if they're opening with the spiders and a bunch of dead reapers, I'm going to assume that this is going to be the dungeon where we actually get the ability to make the spiders that we can carry around and use with us.
Who's there? That'll teach.
Will it teach them? But yeah, that's the hell are you doing back there?
Where'd you come from?
Alright. Oh, well, you know what, fuck it, we'll take it, because I do believe that we need the undamaged ones in order to actually make any of the spiders, so. But yeah, this is gonna clear. I mean, because there isn't all that many things we're missing from the vault, right?
When I pulled that knife from my boot.
Oh, I bet you that's just a Reaper. Yeah, that's Serana raised, yep. Because that's very standard dialogue from them. Because yeah, we're not outside of outside of Mirax stuff, this may finish everything else that we're missing in there.
Just hand it over.
Except for obviously like the Mythic Dawn armor that's broken because something changed the item ID or something, so that to something different that the mod with the vault doesn't recognize. So we can't put that up, but what can, oh yeah, and Gallus's journal, which is not available, so I don't know why is even a thing.
Where'd you come from? Who's
Oh,
there?
I was gonna say, did that really kill the Serana? You gotta choose.
Teamwork right there.
You keep resurrecting people and then summoning something which kills the resurrected person. And then you freaking resurrect something else. That then... Sorry. My bad, Sphere dude. But then you resurrect something else, which then destroys your summon. Like, good god. God, I think there's like a fuck ton of these geodes in here as well, because like I said, I'm pretty sure it takes some kind of gems the albino spider pods, I think. Some kind of gems, and I want to say something else, potentially soul gems, but I'm not 100% on that. But I'm pretty sure each spider requires three items to make. None of them are particularly powerful. If I'm being honest, like it's a cool item, but just like a lot of stuff in this game, you find it and you're like, oh, this is cool, and then you never use it because it's like, you know, there's other things that are easier and just better. I say easier, I mean just better and easier, because I mean you don't like. I think that we have to make the spiders in this dungeon. So like if you're out and about, you run out of spiders, you want more, you have to walk your ass all the way back over here, collect more of these spider pods and everything. Like, oh, look at that, there's actually some alive reavers, not reavers. I guess they're only reapers if they manage to kill me. Oh, just a bandit marauder? Why does he look like that? Like, why was he all... Oh, I see. He was being controlled. There was a spider on his back. So those must be ones that resurrect dead things, then? If I had to guess. Yeah, see, those ones you don't even get anything for. Here comes another spider, but I'll let them deal with it. While I go looking to see what else there is. Nothing, but you know, we had to look. Okay, so we got the water pathway there. Oh, Serrano raised up a bog standard Draugr. I don't know that. I know that there's another Draugr there as well. I don't know that it's any better, but I mean, I can guarantee you that the shit she can summon is better. I mean, I guess the spiders may not be too bad. I mean, they do survive a hit from my sword. Also, I think that spider just opened that door. Because I know I didn't hit A. My finger was not close to that button. Well, I mean, I guess it was, just because it kind of has to be if you're using a controller, but... Oh, we actually... No Fusrodas. Oh yeah, I forgot it did. Sure, throw a common one on there, and then a lesser one, greater one to fill it up. Alright. Got actually two animes to talk about in this part. Maybe I should have recorded this part, because then I would have been done the other one, but since I prefer not to talk about them during Tomb Raider. I'm not sure why. I feel like it's just because like I know I'm going to get interrupted a lot more in Tomb Raider than I am in Skyrim. Whereas in Skyrim, my interruptions are usually just like, you know, I get distracted by something. It's not the game interrupting me. It's me interrupting myself. But yeah, I watched one and finished. Miss Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood, or That Lives in My Neighborhood. Either way. It was a fun show. Cute little show about a high school girl moving in with a vampire. Nothing like particularly like exciting happens during it, but it's a fun, cute little show. I mean, it's funny, but there isn't really a whole lot to talk about. But you know, it is just like your as slice of life as you can get when it involves a vampire, you know. But yeah, it's a funny show. I would recommend it to anybody who just needs a break from anything like super action oriented or that and that, you know. Should we get a Heartstone since they're here? I don't feel like I need them, but well, you know what? We know they're there, so if we need them for the spiders, we'll come back.
Where'd you put them?
But yeah, it was a fun little show. 12 episodes. Like I said, nothing super exciting happens. Nothing like, I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to. What was that noise? That must have been something to do with the sphere. Like there's just not like a huge amount to talk about because it's one of those shows where since there's nothing like super important, it's kind of all important, you know? Like there isn't like any one major plot point to spoil, so it's hard to tell what. Oh, right, the exploding spiders. Oh, there's a big hole that I did not see. A lot of ruby geodes down here. It's a good thing that they should be able to take care of themselves. But yeah, probably like the weirdest thing about that show is so like the premise of it, right, is the main girl, the high school girl, is like obsessed with dolls, right? And her friend tells her, this is basically like episode 1 that I'm going to tell you right now. And her one friend tells her this story that she's been hearing about this living doll out that people have been seeing out in this one neighborhood, right? Walking in the forest and everything. It's a really gross sound. I'm assuming, yeah, that there's an egg around. So, you know, being obsessed with dolls and not terrified of anything in the slightest, she goes out to look for her, right? Gets lost in the woods, and then the vampire girl finds her, right? And is like, what are you doing out in the woods by yourself, you know? And then the girl's slightly disappointed because, you know, it's not a living doll, it's a vampire. She's totally fine with her being a vampire, by the way. She breaks that news to her like immediately. It's like, oh, don't worry about me. I'm just a regular old vampire. She's very open about being a vampire. Like, she tells her neighbors and they don't believe her, and she tells a couple other people and they don't believe her. But like, she doesn't like hide the fact she's a vampire at all. Except in the one episode, but whatever. But because she's a vampire, right? She got pale skin because they gave them like all the vampire tropes: hate garlic and crosses, burn up in the sunlight, everything, right? Super strength. They didn't have them turn into bats, but they did give them bat wings that they can pull in and out of their body. But yeah, she has real pale skin and everything, and she doesn't breathe, which means that while she isn't technically a doll, she looks like a doll, right? So the girl's all on board for it then, and starts visiting her house every day. And then one of her friends, back at school, makes a joke about her, since she's there every day anyway, should just move in with her. So she does. Now remember, this is a high school girl. Junior high, I'm assuming, just based on the way they look, but it's hard to tell because they don't really do a whole lot not a lot of the show takes place at the school. There is a little bit of stuff at the school, but not nearly enough to get a feel for like what grade they're in or anything, right? Maybe they say at some point and I just missed it. Oh, here's a person. The cage door key and the journal. And then, you know, we're going to take one of each spider just so that we have one. Alright, I'll read this. I know what he's planning. Does he really think he can take all the credit for discovering these spiders? Next time he goes into the safety cage to do whatever it is he does with those spiders, I'll lock the door. He'll have no choice but to listen to me then. Does he mean about me not being right in the head? There's nothing wrong with me. He's the one trying to steal my discovery. Does he think I don't see what he's doing? There's nothing wrong with me, nothing. Keeps talking to me like I'm insane. I'm not insane. Who said I'm insane? Did I say I was insane? I'll show him insane. You sound pretty insane. It doesn't matter. I'll see what real power, or he'll see what real power is. The chanting we heard just outside the main chamber must mean there's something extremely powerful there. If I can get my hands on that energy and bring it back, who knows what kind of discoveries we can make from it. But yeah, so her friend makes the joke about moving in with this stranger. They just refer to her as a stranger because, you know, at this point she still pretty much is. But the girl just thinks it's a great idea and decides to move in. Packs up very basic supplies like pajamas, her school uniform, a toothbrush, and a towel. And then she has a suitcase with like 20 some dolls in it. Like I said, she's very obsessed with dolls. And just shows up at the vampire's house and says that she's moving in. And the vampire agrees to this because even though she was fairly annoyed at the constant interruption that the girl brought to her life, at one point the girl leaves for, I can't remember. Oh, she tries to scare the girl away by showing her how strong she is, and she like lifts a what did they call it? I think they called it a road roller, which is a steamroller to most people as far as I was aware. Should we go through the door? Sure. And then like the girl runs away, and she thinks she scared him off, or that she scared her off, and then like she realizes that, you know, she was in fact. No, I'll go back and check the other way first. That she was in fact enjoying having all the company in that. The girl returns like later that same night, and she had ran home to bring all of the jars that she couldn't get the lids off of, so that the vampire would open the lids for her. That was why she had ran away when she saw how strong she was. She's like, all those containers I have. Oh, I don't want butter, but whatever. But yeah, and then she straight up moves in. And then when she calls her parents, because she went over there and told the vampire she was moving in without telling her parents. But she calls her parents, tells them that she's moving in with her. They ask her who it is, and she just explains, like, she just basically describes the vampire girl to her and says something about her looking like a doll. And her and her parents are just like, ah, I see. All right, have fun, dear. And that's it. Like, there's no discussion over it. There's no... Like, as far as I'm aware, by the end of the season, her parents have never met the vampire. Like... Okay. Seems to be a lot of shit over here. Fucking stop me. Oh, hello. So I'm assuming that these spiders that are controlling the, what I'm presuming were dead. Oh, that one didn't have the, whatever. But yeah, there was no discussion between her and her parents, and 12 episodes later, her parents still, and 12 episodes and like a year later, because they do jump it forward in time a lot. Like, you don't see every single day of their life, mainly because like they don't. Once again, it's not like an action-packed anime. But yeah, like, and a year later, her parents still haven't met the vampire that her daughter just called them up and said that she was moving in with. But yeah, that's probably like the strangest part of that show. Little strange, but not nearly that strange, is the amount of time that it seems to be dark outside in that show. Because obviously, as vampire, you know, can't go out in the daylight, she'll turn to ash. She does regenerate though, because there's a few times where, you know, she ends up in the sunlight and takes some damage, but it's fine, because then, you know, it just regrows. But yeah, because it seems to be nighttime a lot in that show, or these girls are staying up really late on school nights.
I was always taught to avoid these types of ruins.
I say these girls
guess
because
you're
her
right.
friends come over to visit, and well, her one friend comes over to visit a lot. Like the last, I don't know if it's like the last half, like that, like the second half of the season, but it might be the whole second half of the season. Her one friend is there like every episode, shows up. Oh, this must be the other guy, Servos, yeah. She's finally done it. I knew she'd eventually crack. I probably should have left when I had the chance. The untapped power within these spiders has finally gone to Marilar's head. Who would have thought these tiny albino creatures had the ability to harness such magic? Being locked in this cage is frustrating, of course, but it is keeping me even more focused on my work. What did she think I was going to do anyway? As my sister, she must have known how devoted I am to this work. Although I can't fault her for her actions right now, who knows what kind of fumes these experiments have been giving off or what effect they have on the brain. At least I'm alright. Or maybe I'm not, but I think I am. Could these experiments be having the same effect on me that they are on her? Based on your, just purely based on your journals, I'm going to go with no, but obviously, you know, hard to say. Alright, so here's, yeah, see, and they also have rubies here, so I'm going to assume I need those. I've only tried a few combinations, but things look promising. Here's what I've discovered so far. A ruby and albino pod is a jumping flame spider. A damage pod gives you an exploding one. A ruby salt pyre and damage pod apparently doesn't work, but ruby salt pile and a regular pod give me a flame flow spider. Looking at the results, it seems as though the purity of the gem could enhance the imbuing process in some unforeseen way. Perhaps if I could get my hands on a flawless ruby. I have also theorized that if one were to mix most any of the ingredients in the previous experiments, a new discovery is likely to be made. Upon further inspection of both a diamond and a garnet, it seems they don't contain the necessary power required. I know for a fact that a ruby works, as seen in my previous experiments. Next, let's see how the reaction works with an amethyst, emerald, or even a sapphire. There must be other types of spiders out there. Who knows what other kinds of imbuing processes have taken place? We'd best keep our eyes open. The source of the interaction will most likely be nearby, whatever new species we find. So, as you can tell, we use this thing to make spiders. There are a few different spiders you can make, and I know that there's more than just the fire ones. I should take that. Oop. So, like, if we search this and then put the right ingredients in, let's see. Let's see what we got. Did I pick up any? Oh. Do I have any of those? I don't, but I mean, I know they're around. But if we, for example, we've seen these ones before. So if we throw in a dwarven oil and an albino spider pod, oh, hang on. Imbuing chamber. Right? And then... No, I'm sure that was one. Because I didn't... Oh, there we go. Yeah, I did. So I got an oil spider. So spawns a spider that secretes a flammable oil when it feels threatened. Let's see. We throw in a bone meal. Oh, right, but we actually need more of the, So if we throw in a bone meal with one, we should get another one. No? again, could have swore that that was... Did I get... No, I didn't. Maybe it's not a, Oh, that one's not a real one. Okay. Okay, well, we'll throw that in there since we obviously need it anyway. We'll take the bone meal out. So that's supposed to be a pack spider that, you can use to carry stuff, or that you can, like, just give shit and they'll carry it around. Now, I saw some back somewhere, but I don't remember exactly where. We need some glowing mushrooms. That, I don't want to go all the way back to the barrow. Because I would like to get one of each spider. Also, even though they're under scrolls, oops, right. If you equip one, you actually just hold a living spider in your hand. It's very weird. But yeah, if we can find, because I know I saw some, but I don't remember where it's at. Oh, you know what? It was probably down here. That would make the most sense, right? This looks like a good place for the mushrooms to grow. No? Damn it. I know I saw some, but it is very possible that it was back in the barrow and not in this section of the area. Oh no. Alright. Get out the way. Yeah, see, and then this fucking spear can't move because Sauron is there. I was worried about that when I was like, we'll take the spear. Yeah. Must not be there. Because I know that I saw some, but... I'm not 100% sure where. But whatever, if we happen to come across them again, we'll, I'll come back and make them. But we'll see but we'll get some of the other ones made here just so that we got them and I can show you them and what they do, although it's probably fairly obvious what they'll do. Oh, you know what? Let's check just real quick in here. Get in the door. No. I doubt it, right? Because, like, it's usually, because it has to be, like, caves, not... Yeah, I don't remember any of these guys having a name on them, otherwise I probably would have picked it up, right? Oh, wait, what about... over here? This looks like someplace we haven't been. Soul Gem, Ruby, Honey... That sounds like he's stuck. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Get out the way. No, I'm stuck behind him. Yeah, definitely stuck. That's fine though. Oh, wait. He got unstuck. And Sauron is skinnier, so I can make it past her. Alright. Back up to the viewing chamber. Alright. So since we didn't get any of that one, if we throw in a soul gem. Boop. Line control spider. Creatures and people that this spider attaches to will fight for you for 30 seconds. I don't know. I imagine that there's probably a I imagine that there's probably a level cap to those, but I'm not sure what it is. But I mean, like, there's got to be, right? So now we'll throw in another albino pod. Now, so for the rest of these, I'm just going to make one of each. I'm not going to make, like, the individual ones. So there's exploding spiders with different elements, and you put in the gem that's required and a damaged pod. Then there's the cloaked ones where you put in the gem that's required, a salt pile, and then one of the pod, and then a regular pod. So if you want them to just explode, and they're dead, by the way, if you use the damaged albino spider pods, you literally throw a dead spider that just explodes. Now he said something about putting flawless ones in, and I don't remember if that's necessary or not, like if that's like a real thing. We'll put in another salt. We'll make the cloaked ones because they're, in my opinion, a little bit better. And we'll throw in a flawless amethyst to see if that actually gets me something different. Oh, shock cloak spider. Okay. Times 6. So yeah. So this is a shock. Yeah. So this is the shock one. I'm assuming that using the flawless gems just gets you more of them, maybe? If I had to guess. But yeah, so that amethyst gets you shocked. Obviously rubies get you fire. Diamonds don't get you anything, correct? Ruby, sapphire. Yeah, there's a few that don't get you anything by the looks of it, actually. Ruby, sapphire, amethyst, and emerald seem to be... Sapphire, amethyst, emerald. And then this will do that. Yeah, so ruby, sapphire, amethyst, and emerald are the only ones that get you anything. The rest of them do not. Throw in that, which should get us the poison spider. The recipe. Oh, I bet you if I go into books. Recipe mind control. I don't know what 2. Oh, you get 2 times as many of them, I'm assuming. So yeah, that's the poison one. That's what they look like. Salt pile. Albino pod. We did the amethyst. We did the emerald. We don't have a ruby, but we'll throw in the sapphire. And we already have a ruby spider, or a flame cloak spider anyway. And that'll get us the frost cloak spider, which looks like this. And then you know what? Just because we're already here and we have the ingredients on hand, we'll throw in a salt pile, throw in the pod, and we'll throw in a flawless ruby, and we'll make ourselves our own flame ones. There we go. Alright, so yeah, we only have one more thing that we need, or one more type of spider that we can make. But we need glowing mushrooms for it. And as far as I'm aware, and I'm only aware of this, and that means according to the wiki page about this, those are the only ones. And then they have the pack ones that apparently have all of the stuff in the game for them to be a thing. They just never activated them so that they could be a thing. Obviously, the game wants you to make a fuck ton of the of the flame ones, considering just how many ruby deposits are down here. But, you know, like I said, the spiders, while not horrendous, they're still not great as actual weapons, you know? But yeah, they are cool. It is a cool thing, and just like a lot of other stuff, if you... Oh god, I was on the wrong side of that railing. If you come here early enough in the game, they can actually be rather useful. But just the fact that that imbuing chamber there is the only place you can make it, unless obviously you download some kind of mod, it just makes it kind of annoying to restock once you use them. Oh no, a dragon priest. Dukan. So this will actually get us our last Dragon Priest mask. Increase frost resistance and increases frost spell damage. So if you want to use a lot of ice magic, that's a good mask to wear. Oh, dragon scale boots. And another word of our cyclone shout, which I think is our last one, yeah. Magic, shout, cyclone, it is. Alright, oh, and here's our black book. Now is that everything? I think so, right? Yeah, that should be. The Sallow Regent, which I do believe is a play based on, you know, the half a second that I got to read what was on there. I think this place will probably be our entire part, by the way, because with, I don't know how long this particular book is. Oh, this again. See, now if I had the glowing ones, that would probably work out well for me, but where is boop? Go. I need the lantern from Bloodborne that I can just like attach to my belt. That would make this a lot easier, wouldn't it? Yeah, why not? I'll take that. So many books here. So many books. And yet I don't know which ones I have and have not read because they aren't laying out. I imagine there's probably a bunch of books that you can probably like only get in here. And like my collection just like won't be complete. Now, granted, I can always come back into these black books whenever I feel like it, because none of them get taken away from you. But you know. Oh, I do have that one. Yeah, a high seeker. Rick. Oh right, I said I was going to use my shout. Alright, next enemy then. Good to know my candlelight spell hasn't worn off yet. It doesn't give you a huge amount of light, but it doesn't need to. The Black Soul Gem, I don't really care about the rest. I know I have Conjure Seeker already. I know Serana has learned it, and I know I have an extra copy of it. Not that Serana learned it really means anything. It's not like I needed to give her own copy of the book to learn it, but it's also really weird that when you learn a spell, you lose the book. What is he doing? Oh. Yeah, so there's Cyclone. Works better if the enemies for... Oh, that's like straight for the dick into his gut. That's gotta hurt. It works a lot better if the enemies are a little bit further away from you. As you saw there, when they're that close, it doesn't do a whole lot. If they're a little bit further away, though, it does do a lot better. I don't know, I've started to take damage again. The only thing that's annoying about that is I can't see anything to, boosh. I can't see anything if there's any loot that I want to grab. Alright, I did say I had 2 animes to talk about. The other one, now give me a second here to make sure I get the name right. Miss Kuroitsu from the Monster Development Department, I think. Monster Research, I don't know. It's another one with a long name, which makes sense because like all of the titles of their shows are super fucking long as well, and they even make a joke about it because like at the end of every episode, you know, they do the next episode and they read out the super long title, and eventually they just give up on reading it. They'll get like a few words out and then just like, just watch it next time. Yeah, see, as you can see, Cyclone doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't do a whole lot on these guys. I do believe that if you have lighter enemies that you're fighting, even just like humans, I think it does, but it could also be like a level thing where it'll only affect certain leveled enemies. So when we get out of the book, we might just like go back to Skyrim to somewhere and just like, use it on a wolf or something, or maybe I'll just save and use it in like the middle of Whiterun. Because I remember it doing more than that, but I don't really remember using it on like these guys. Oh, good, it isn't like a hugely long book. Not that it would have made much of a difference. It's still probably going to be the entire part, but you know. Songs of Skyrim and Songs of Skyrim revised. I'll grab both of those. Storm Atronach. Flame Thrall, already got that. I can get Master Level Conjuration without doing the quest, though, it looks like, which is interesting. Alright, so now, these things are all very useful, and I'm going to take the combat one, but this one over here. So Seeker of Shadows, what that one does, or all of these do the same thing to different things. So all of them increase your skills. So the Seeker of Might increases all the skills for the warrior. The Seeker of Seeker of Shadows increases all the ones for the thief, and then the Seeker of Sorcery does all the ones for the mage. Now this also includes stuff like alchemy. If you take the Seeker of Shadows, it includes smithing if you take the might, and enchanting if you take the sorcery. And what that means is, and this is why I'm not going to do it because I'd have to do the whole respecking thing again. If you take Seeker of Might, your smithing will improve by 10%. So you can improve stuff even more than you already could. Same with enchanting. If you take the Seeker of Sorcery, your enchantments will be 10% more powerful on top of everything else. So you can stack that up with potions and whatnot. So if you really wanted to max out your gear without doing any kind of exploit, basically what you would need is you would obviously need to have 100 enchanting. And then if you're like me and are too lazy to actually bother doing any kind of potion making, you would get the Enchanter's Elixir, but then you need 4 pieces of Ozadal's armor set so that you can get that to make your enchantments 10% stronger. And then you would need this book to make your enchantments 10% stronger. And the same with smithing. If you take this book, you can also make it 10% stronger. But like I said, it would require me respecking again in order to upgrade my gear past what it is now, and I just don't care. It required me to respec and then redo all of my enchantments, because you can't just upgrade your enchantments, unfortunately, like you can your and once again, Serana seems to disappear a lot whenever I do black book stuff. which is a little disconcerting. But, you know, whatever. I can always bring her back. And is there really no, like, shortcut out of here? Like, this is an awfully long dungeon to not have a shortcut at the end. But, whatever. But yeah, that is all of the black books now. We can even display them all. In fact, we will. Because I think we've been going... Well, I don't think we've been going for an hour, but I think we're close enough to call it a part. Yeah. I mean, we're almost at 50 minutes. So if we pop on over... I would have liked to get the other spider, but... we catch a glowing mushroom early enough, maybe I'll run back and do it. Just to show you what the final spider looks like. There's the heartstone, but that doesn't do anything. And then viewer. I mean, if it's gonna be anywhere, it would be in a part where like the cave, or where like rocks and that are coming through the walls of the barrow. And actually, come to think of it, we never got over there, did we? So we're not even technically done exploring this place yet. Ah, there they were. Because we lowered the one half of the bridge, but then we never got the other half lowered. And as you can see, they blocked off this side. And that side. How does one get in there? Oh, they just walk around. Alright. Alright. But yeah, so that's... So... Alright. So yeah, let's just quickly run back and grab the final spider, because then I don't have to come back between parts to do it. Which I realize is a problem for me and not for you, but you know, you know, well, presumably watched at least most of the parts. I am like well over 100 parts into this series. It'd be weird for you to start at this part, but it's also Skyrim, so it's also easily plausible that you are somebody who just watched the parts that like had titles that you cared about, you know. But that's not really gonna mean a whole lot, because it's not like I name my parts after, oh fuck, that's the wrong way, specifically after like the locations I go to. Some of the parts are labeled after the locations that I've went to, but the majority of them are just labeled after something I did or something that we do in them. I mean, they're not like weird titles, but you know. Alright. Viewing chamber. Ingredients. Glowing mushroom. Albino spider pod. And boosh. Alright, I did something wrong. Did I, do I need salt in that one too, maybe? And unfortunately, I already closed that page because I was like, oh, I'll easily remember that. Do I need salt in it? No. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I needed a damaged pod. Damn it. 1 second. That's... Alright. Okay, no, that's all it says it takes. Is a glowing mushroom and the albino spider pod, so, and it just says one of each. But for whatever reason it's not working, but that's supposed to get you a glowing spider. I mean, Oh, because it's another one that doesn't work. Alright. Well, it didn't tell me that on the thing that that one wouldn't work. And you know what? Those ingredients can just stay there. Because I don't care. Alright, so apparently you can't get that one, which is a shame. Because that was one that I may have actually made a bunch of. Because then I could have just, you know, instead of using candlelight, just had a bunch of... Or, well, not a bunch. You can only... I think you could have only... You probably would have only been able to use one at a time. But I could have just had one of those. Although... To be fair, they're glowing spiders. I don't know whether or not it would have followed you or not. Because it may very well have been something you just throw down and then like it'll do like a small wander around wherever the fuck you put it. Because you do have that other spell. Like I use candlelight because candlelight sticks to you, obviously, or circles around you anyway. But there is that other spell you can cast that actually just places a point of light where you're or where you aim it. So I mean, it could have been mimicking that instead of candlelight and just not followed you and just stuck to, or like not necessarily stuck to where it was, but you know, just had like a small area that would walk around based on where you threw it. But yeah, that's good Christ, that's this place. It got us our last Dragon Priest mask, except for Mirax, obviously. Got us a bunch of spiders that I don't really know what I plan on doing with them, since it's not like I can just have them walk around. And it got us our last black book. Now, obviously, we can't just throw all the black books on the shelf and leave them there, because there is, unfortunately, the fact that we do need the one. In fact, we may need two of them to finish the main quest. What the fuck is this stupid ball? There it is. Because obviously we need to go into the one to fight Mirak, and I think we need to give a different one to the guy so that what's his face there, Tentacle Man, will give us the last word of the Bent Will shout. But yeah, if we go over here, there's Dukan's mask, almost done, and then just so that you can boop. Look at that. Look at our nice little bookshelf of evil, basically. I mean, more or less. I mean, we got the Mythic Dawn commentaries, which is about an evil cult. We have the Augmentinium. We have Malin Varen's Grimoire. I don't even remember who that is, but it's covered in blood. We have the Falmer things there, and then all the black books. So yeah, our little vault here, it's pretty nice. Kind of wish other stuff would have, or that the stuff that's glitched out wouldn't have glitched. But you know, what can you do? But yeah, that'll be it for this part. Next part, we'll continue clearing Solstheim. We've only got a few locations left. There's not really anything else that I can think of. So we may be able to finish. Like I said, I'm gonna say we're finishing Skyrim next week. I mean, we have 3 parts to do it. I can't think of anything else big that we have to do, either quest-wise or dungeon, or like location-wise. So I imagine we'll be done the locations next part, or very early on Thursday, next Thursday. But either way, we'll be done. And if we finish early, like if we finish the entire game on Thursday, which is a possibility, I'm not sure what we'll do for Saturday's video, because I don't want to start a new one right away. But that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.